They said you were too sensitive, too emotional, too much, and you believed them. You started to question yourself. Maybe I am too soft. Maybe I feel too deeply. Maybe I care too much. But here's what they never told you. Your sensitivity was never the problem. Your strength scared them. Your heart threatened them. Because in a world addicted to numbness, your ability to feel, to really feel, made you powerful. They didn't know how to hold that kind of energy, so they tried to shrink it, minimize it, make it something ugly, something shameful, but it wasn't. Your strength was never in how loud you were. It was in the way you kept showing up, even when you were hurting. It was in how you loved when you had every reason to hate, in how you stayed soft in a world that kept trying to harden you. They mistook your kindness for weakness. They thought because you didn't fight back the way they did, you couldn't. But real warriors don't always swing. Sometimes they just stand quietly, unshakably, and you stood through betrayals, through loneliness, through disappointment after disappointment. You endured more than they'll ever understand. Because while they broke down when things didn't go their way, you learned to keep walking with the weight of your whole world on your shoulders and not let it show. They couldn't see your strength because it didn't look like theirs. Yours didn't come with aggression. Yours didn't come with ego. It came with depth, with compassion, with presence. You didn't need to be seen to know who you were. You didn't need applause to keep moving. And that scared them because most people rely on noise to feel powerful. You found power in stillness, in awareness, in being rooted so deeply that no storm could move you. You were never weak. You were just misunderstood. And that's not your burden to carry anymore. It's not your job to make yourself smaller just so others feel safe. It's not your duty to dilute your light so others don't feel overshadowed. If they can't handle your strength, let them go. Stop trying to make yourself digestible for people who were never ready for the real you. Because the truth is, they saw your power. They just couldn't control it. So they tried to convince you it wasn't there. But it was. It always was. You've always had a fire in you. Even when you doubted it, even when you let people talk over it, even when you gave people the power to name you something you were never meant to be. You are not too much. You are enough, and then some. You were just surrounded by people who didn't know what to do with someone like you. People who were used to broken hearts, so they didn't recognize a healing one. People who were used to chaos, so your peace felt foreign. People who were so used to shallow love they couldn't swim in your depth without drowning. And you thought their fear was your flaw. It wasn't. Their inability to love you had nothing to do with how lovable you were. Their failure to understand you was not a reflection of your clarity. Their leaving wasn't your loss. You didn't lose anything. They did. They lost someone who would have stood by them through hell, someone who knew what pain looked like and still chose to show up with an open heart. They lost real. They lost depth. They lost you. And you gained something. You gained your truth. You gained your voice. You gained your boundaries. You gained the strength to finally say, I'm not shrinking anymore. You don't have to explain who you are. You don't have to apologize for being whole. You don't have to dull your brilliance for people committed to dimness. Let them call you intense. Let them call you emotional. Let them say you've changed. Because you have. You've outgrown the version of yourself that needed to be liked more than respected. You've outgrown relationships that only worked when you were hurting. You've outgrown the idea that love means self-abandonment. Now you know better. Now you know your softness is strength. Your boundaries are sacred. Your presence is a gift. Not everyone deserves access to it. You know that you're not here to be understood by everyone, just by yourself. Because once you understand the power you've always had, you'll never let anyone treat it like a weakness again. You'll protect it, you'll honor it, and you'll build a life around it. A life that doesn't require you to break yourself in half to make someone else feel whole. A life where your strength is celebrated, not silenced. A life where the people around you don't fear your depth. They respect it. You were never weak. You were never too much. You were never broken. You were just surrounded by people who couldn't see your fire through the smoke of their own fear. But that fire, it's burning stronger now. It's burning brighter, and it's never going out again. Not for them, not for anyone. Because this time, the only version of you that survives is the one that never apologizes for how powerful you really are.